Hello, how's everybody doing? Today I'm taking this down, but I'm also gonna talk about, the next project that I have. The next project I want it to be on language, okay? And out of all of them, this one's the hardest one that I did. This one was on algebra, but it was very, I say time consuming. I mean, it was worth it. I really enjoyed it. I didn't want to take it down, but it started falling down, so it was easy for me to take it down. Like I said the last time, I keep pretty much everything, so I can reuse a lot of this. But the next one that I'm doing is going to be on. It's going to be on language. So I was going to talk a little bit about that. What I do is, I always talk about, like what I do so you can get an idea of the process. But what I do is I think of a concept. To me, a lot of things abstract are really real. The mind, to me, it's because we don't know about it, we call it abstract, really. But I think the mind is where the concrete comes from. So, a lot of the ideas I get from, how can I say visions? Is like from, not thoughts, but like, how can I say? I guess I can say concepts, okay? Like for instance, like I'm doing one on language, and I think of the concept of language. I studied in college how language, that's another thing too. I use what I've learned about the subject, and it's all coming together, everything comes together. Like for instance, all the things that you know about something, and if you put it all together, it's like abstract, So that's what I believe. So I think about everything that I know about the subject, and then I think about the materials I'm using, okay? And that's what really makes it abstract. The fact that you have, it's different from using a pencil, from using a pen, from using crayons, I'm just talking about general things. From using a pen, a pencil, what else can you use? I'm not going to say paintbrush because that's art. Just like, if you want to do a letter, like you say, in pen, or you want to do a letter in pencil, you think differently, or you type a letter. Well, those are different, would be like different mediums. So then I have all the information that I know about the subject, the concepts of it that I have in my mind. The concepts are made from all the material that I went through, okay? So you can see where it may look abstract, but if you look at something abstract and you try, the idea is to try and find something in yourself for it to be stored. A lot of people don't realize that. But like, if you're looking at an art piece, I have to say this, I guess your mind, actually it's you, but I'll say your mind is trying to relate it to something, or the major thing, it wants to store it, The reason why I say store it, because you can look at a painting, or you can go to a museum, and a lot of times, a lot of things that you do artistically affects you later on. A lot of people don't realize that, but that's the truth. And if you don't notice it, this is so easy to take down. But if you don't notice it, you don't reap the benefits, because it's like, you have to know that you were affected by something. Like I made this art piece And maybe there's someone who looked at it and goes like, they weren't finished. They just looked at it. That's the number one thing. And then like, if you if you go about your day, you can see if you're a very artistic person or you're a very sensitive person, you can see that, oh, you know what? I got this off of that. I understand this now. I understand that now. I can see where that happened, especially this one on algebra, because it was made in a way that you just don't look at it, but you try and draw conclusions. I'm not going to say, which I think is a good idea. I'm not going to say what it meant to me or how I derived at doing it the way I did. I'm not going to say that because it takes it away from you and your experience as far as the art concerned. Some people just want to look at it and just enjoy it. So anyway, the next one is going to be on language, and the only thing I have in my mind, that's the first thing that happens, is I let it happen naturally. And what came to my mind is more like a DNA type thing, like the DNA spiral. And believe it or not, DNA spiral, it has nothing to do with DNA. It's just an artist's conception. It's very important to have art because you wouldn't have your science books. Science would not have any pictures if it wasn't for art. A lot of the things in science is the replica, the picture is made by an artist that renders it from his experience of the information that was given to him. And so the DNA pictures and stuff that you usually see is really an artist's conception, And believe it or not, I believe I think it's it's very close to what it actually is, okay? So anyway, I was talking about DNA, so I was figuring about language. I'm talking about all the languages, language together. And I think, like I said, I want it to be something like a DNA type look. And it just happens naturally because it's like sort and everything. I sort out everything. And the thing I came up with, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but in the 60s and 70s, I think, we used to make this this paper thing. You do 2 strips of paper, and then you fold it over and fold it over, and you make a chain, something like that. You'll see when I do the art. So I want it to be something like that. Not DNA, but sort of like that, because language is a very much, believe it or not, language is, well, I'm almost sure you believe, but it's like a part of you, okay? It's more so a part of you than you think, because there's a part of language that is totally a part of you, and then you learn your language. So when I say a part of you, I think that the meaning, part of language is meaning. One class I took linguistics. That was my minor, linguistics, and one of the topics in linguistics is meaning. It's very important, just meaning, understanding. That's what I feel is a part of you, like the DNA type force. And everybody has meaning. If you didn't have meaning, you wouldn't even have any more. You wouldn't even have a language. So I figured that part of language, which I'm going to put in my art, is going to be like a DNA type, So anyway, thanks, because I've actually finished putting this one down. It was the hardest one. I can't say the hardest, but it was complicated to put up, and it took a long time. And it was the easiest one to burn down because it was done so well. As I go along, I do it. Like I said in the last art video, I think about it more. The more I think about it, the more I do these, I can plan it better in my head. And the more I plan it in my head, the easier it is to put up. This one was easy to put up, but it was very time consuming. And I like that too, because I know that it lasts. I mean, like, you know, I can get people to view it, but people who later on, it would still be, you know, just as interesting as it was when I first put it up. So I want to thank you for helping me bring that down. And my next one is on language, and I gave you a heads up on what's coming up next. So thank you very much. I always want to have these art topics and talk about art. I have one art program that I've been working on. It's called How to Become a Master Viewer of Art, and that's been going on for like 3 years. Because I have to do something as far as that project is concerned. I have to do a 15-page report, but I haven't finished yet, and I cannot go to the next level unless I finish just that paper. Anyway, that's topic that I've been doing for 3 years. Anyway, thank you very much. Thanks for helping me out, and have a nice time. Enjoy the holidays. Bye.